Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely dumpy, not very inspiring, very Pierre Poilievre, so no. Hey Livy, got a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
Look, I'm really stressing out over what I'm gonna put in this bag for Pride parades coming up. I know the future's bright, so we gotta wear shades, so that's wearing the bag. Look, I really love Pride Lego, but I don't think they can survive an hour and a half on the parade circuit, right?
No.
Okay, so bye. And look, I'm literally reading my history, great book. Encourage everybody to do it. We have to know our history. We have to know where we're heading. We've got to stick up for queer kids, for trans, non-binary kids. So reading up on your history is an act of pride, and I encourage everybody to do that. It might rain. I got to bring an umbrella. I think that's important. Sunscreen. Okay, look, 30, 60. Look at my complexion. Look at my forehead. I got a big forehead. 60, not 30. Okay, fanny packs. People like fanny packs, but this is like, it's like kind of plain, definitely dumpy, not very inspiring, very Pierre Poilievre, so no. Now, get ready everybody. Make sure you take out your colors. Make sure you're ready to be proud of who you are, who you love, and don't forget, we also, faut toujours avoir une pancarte pour la fierté. Donc, soyez vous êtes, aimez qui vous aimez, soyez fiers d'être Canadien et queer, and know that this government and I always have your backs. Joyeuse saison de la fierté. Happy Pride season.
Hey gang, what's up? Just Aaron right here, Question Period Canada. This thing with Randy Beausoleil, Minister of Employment, isn't going away. Well, Randy might be going away. Who knows? Behind bars, like to a Caribbean island. But I bet you he is going away. It looks like right there, he's packing his bags. There are so many pieces to this scandal, guys. And we have quite a few clips to show. Where is other Randy? Come on, there's only one Randy. And he's not the cheeseburger eating guy from trailer parks. It's you, Minister Beausoleil, it would seem. You're very suspect, but it's kind of a little bit funny, like this scam, because your lies have been so obvious. Yeah, you told them to the wrong people. They're going to get to the bottom of this. Let's take a look at this crazy thing that's been going on with Randy Beausoleil, who says, no, that's the other Randy. I just don't know who it is, what his last name is. The guy that works for my small company. Yeah, come on. Let's take a look. It's pretty funny to really look at this stuff closely. Randy Beausoleil, good idea. Pack your bags. Sunglasses and sunscreen for that big forehead, for sure. Let's take a look. It's been going down over the last couple of weeks. You're probably aware.
I think, sir, that I made my point in terms of evidence versus politics versus conjecture. This is not a witch hunt. This is a function that any opposition member, particularly at this committee, would want to do, determine who this other Randy is. That is the $64 million question.
Another day, and we're still waiting for the Minister of Employment to introduce us to other Randy, the one who was cashing checks from a company that was lobbying the government, winning contracts, and using the minister's name to do it. That's not allowed. It's illegal. The text messages reveal that someone named Randy at the minister's company was part of a $500,000 fraud. So will the employment minister finally get up on his feet and tell everyone the super secret identity of the other Randy?
The Honourable Minister for Employment and Workforce Development.
Mr. Speaker, I am all too happy to set the record straight. I have had no role in this company since being elected in 2021. Regarding the day in question, I have shared my phone records to the committee and with the commissioner, which confirms that I am not the person in this story. Mr. Speaker, I have said it. The companies have said it. And now I've proved it. I was not involved. Mr. Speaker, let's get back to working for Canadians and focusing on the real issues.
Greg Fergus, guilty. Justin Trudeau, guilty twice. Again, that's par for the course with these Liberals. That's the ethical standard. He said, I don't know who that Randy is. And he said it with a straight face. I don't know who that Randy is. It would be laughable, it's farcical, if the matter were not as serious as it is when we're talking about a minister of the Crown who was potentially tied up in a $500,000 fraud and who violated the Conflict of Interest Act. Justin Trudeau invited the media to watch the spectacle of Liberal MPs who, as Mr. Brock said, acted like trained seals and gleefully cheered on the Prime Minister, cheered on the Prime Minister's corruption.
Okay, so it's your understanding that you and Randy Boissonnault and Mr. Anderson are 50-50 partners in the company.
That is not correct. The shares are held by 2256956 Alberta Limited.
Who owns that numbered
I
company?
do.
Cute. Minister, there's fraud and another Randy in a partner call at your company. What's the other Randy's last name?
So, Mr. Barrett, I do not know the name of that person, as I stated in my opening statement. And before at committee, I have no relationship, no operational role with GHI. I do not know that person in question. That person is not me.
What's your percentage stake in the company?
As has been disclosed in my disclosure to the Commission of Ethics, it is 50% stake in GHI that is held in my holding company.
Who are the partners at the company?
I do not know. It is Mr. Anderson, to my knowledge, is the only administrator of that company.
So,
I have no connection other than holding the shares to that company, Mr. Barrett.
holding half of the shares.
Half of the shares are in my numbered company, as disclosed to the Commissioner of Ethics.
Do you know who holds the balance of the shares?
When I was involved, the last time I looked, it was Mr. Anderson.
So it's your understanding that you and Randy Boissonnault and Mr. Anderson are 50-50 partners in the company.
That is not correct. The shares are held by 2256956 Alberta Limited.
Who owns that numbered
I
company?
do.
Cute.
Read the Conflict of Interest Act?
Mr. Chair, I've read sections of the Conflict of Interest Act, but more importantly, when I transitioned from public life, from private life to public life, I spent numerous meetings, numerous phone calls with the team at the Conflict of Interest so that my business interests could be wrapped up in a way that meets all obligations under the Act. And, Mr. Chair, if I can point to these two stories in the press, they indicate that I followed my obligations,
Minister,
and that is what's on the record.
Minister, I asked you a question. You said you did read the Conflict of Interest Act. Good. Section 4 of the Conflict of Interest Act provides a conflict of interest occurs when a public officer holder exercises a duty or function that provides an opportunity to further their private interests or another person's private interests. That's exactly what you did, Minister.
No, not at
Not
all.
only did Navis
Mr.
Group
Chair,
lobby your department,
there was a contravention
you
of the
handed
Conflict
a
of Interest and Ethics Act,
$9.74 million
Conflict
check
of Interest
to
would have said
Navis's
that.
client. You furthered your business partner's interests in delivering
That is
funding
simply not
for
true.
their client, and you
That is not
furthered
true,
your
Mr.
own
Cooper.
interests because you were being
not
paid
true.
by Navis.
That is not true.
My colleague, Mr. Barrett's suggestions to the other opposition members. And I just want to clarify a couple of loose threads that I think need to be focused in. Canadians watching this may be left with the impression that there's really nothing to see here, that Global News had conducted a most thorough investigation on their own, and the Liberal bench, including the Prime Minister, has satisfied all the queries that opposition members have made on this issue. But this is a serious matter. And to Mr. Barrett's point, I know that good governance and high ethical standards is a very elusive concept for this NDP Liberal government. But it's not for Canadians. And the allegations are really damning that a minister who had been a minister for close to a year is communicating via a device to a company demanding within so many minutes a $500,000 payment to a company that he still has a 50% interest in. The text message made it clear that there ought to be a partners meeting. Minister Boissonnault confirmed that he views himself as a partner. This was a two-partner company. What concerns me is that the Liberal bench can clear this up, could have cleared this up the moment the issue rose by simply identifying the surname of this other Randy.
So there
Mr. Chair,
are
I have time on the clock to answer that question.
There are other texts as well that outline how quickly you wanted this wire transfer to go through.
Mr. Barrett,
And
that is not me, and you cannot
the question-
you cannot state that for the record.
Can
That is
we,
simply not true, Mr. Chair.
just
That
hang
is
on a
not true,
sec.
Mr. Chair.
I'm going to, look, I thought I made my expectation very clear at the beginning, that questions will be asked and time will be given to respond to that. I am going to Mr. Barrett. Mr. Barrett, Minister, please don't intervene. I'm going to ask the same of the questioners as well. Mr. Barrett, go ahead. You've got 1 minute and 12 seconds, sir.
Like the lack of respect for procedure at committee, we've seen the same lack of adherence to ethics rules. The minister talked about Canada's stringent ethics rules. His government, of course, including Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, has twice been found guilty of breaking those laws. And that's why we have questions about alleged law breaking by our witness, by the minister. The company has been trying to get the money back, the company that was defrauded of $500,000 from your business. Where did the money from the
Mr. Chair,
chair?
it is.
A chair.
Point of order, Chair.
He is not stating facts, and I
But
cannot
he
let
didn't finish
falsehoods
his
go, Mr.
question.
Chair.
You're going to have ample opportunity to
30 seconds was the length
I
of
know
my
you're
question.
protecting his clips, Mr. Chair, but he is stating falsehoods.
I'm not actually, Mr. Boissonnault.
So we have a corrupt minister from a corrupt
Ask
government.
not true.
that's-
That is
Point
simply
of
beyond
order,
fair. Mr.
Mr.
Chair, that
Chair.
is outrageous behavior by that
Mr.
member.
Barrett,
Can I have my time? I've asked for 2 points of order.
I'm going to go on your point of order. Go ahead, Mr. Brock.
I have never, in my almost 3 years of public service, seen such disrespect
Point of
by
order.
a minister
Point of order.
for the procedures
Point of
here
order.
at committee. He's constantly talking over the witness, and now he's talking over the chair.
Point of
It is
order.
conduct unbecoming.
I've got your
order.
point of order, Mr. Brock. I appreciate that. Mr. Barrett, you were at 34 seconds in your intervention. So I'm going to ask you to ask your question. And
Point
I'm
of
gonna give
order.
Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Housefather. on
Mr.
point of
Chair, referring to someone as corrupt is unparliamentary. I would ask that you order it be withdrawn.
order. Sorry, ask that I order it what?
I would ask that you ask Mr. Barrett to withdraw those comments. That is unparliamentary to refer to someone as corrupt.
Yeah, Mr. Barrett, I am going to ask that you withdraw those comments, please.
Alleged corruption by a corrupt government.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barrett. You
not
have
withdrawn.
had.
That was not a withdrawal, Mr. Chair. That was a doubling down.
We've got a point of order from Mr. Villemure. Go ahead, Mr. Villemure. Allez, s'il vous plaît.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics. So what do you think, gang? Point of order, Mr. Speaker? Point of order, Mr. Chair? Madam Chair? These videos are so crazy. Things that happen in the House of Commons are ludicrous these days. We've got to keep an eye on these Liberals and NDP, their nasty coalition. We certainly do need an election. I'll invite you to come and join our live broadcast. We cover those daily, every single question period. It's a great chat room, a fun community. Come and hang out with us there. Till the next video, like we're just showing you all of these crazy clips. Canadians can make up their own minds. They need to see this stuff though. Till the next video, thank you for watching this one. I'm Aaron. Like, subscribe, share, get notified, all those fun things. We'll catch you next video. Thanks a lot, gang. Till next time.